Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Paddle Talk Podcast, brought to you by World Sand Drag News, along with our friends from Wisconsin that would be racing in the dirt, Doug Vinlett and his crew at 3-1 Go, and as well as Silverback Off-Road Rentals and Silverback Off-Road Speedway. So great to have them along. Great to have you along. I see Damian Bowers is trying to join us right now. We are going to jump right into the race results portion of the program. And first thing we have is race results Thunder Valley from 8:23. As you may remember, Jeff Sieg having a medical procedure, getting postponed for a week and having to take a little time off. So 8:23, so same weekend as Gravel, same weekend as the Speeders race, had to move it to there. So I have some results that were forwarded to me, so we'll read these off. Pee-wees, second place was Gage Johnson, and first place was Aspen Hibden. I have a guess that that's probably a relation to Joey Hibden, so congratulations to those Pee-wee kids. Juniors, second place was Mary Jane Murray, and first place was Chase McLaughlin. Pro Comp, second place was Craig McNeil. First place, again, Chase McLaughlin. So the kid wins juniors and wins Pro Comp. Pro ATV, or Pro 1 ATV, I should say. Craig McNeil taking second place again to Ava Windsor. And Pro 2 ATV, second place was Corey Pitts. And first place, Craig McNeil getting the monkey off his back, going to 3 finals and at least winning one of them. And in the side-by-sides, second place was Luke Roberts. And first place was Jamie Windsor. Okay. And then Sport Comp was second place Mackenzie Shelton. And first place was Chase McLaughlin. So that dude, I'm guessing podium 4 times in one race. That's pretty impressive, I got to say.
That's a great weekend.
That is a fantastic weekend. So, all right. And we'll have a little more on Thunder Valley coming up here in the preview section, as they have a top eliminator race coming up. What is it? September 5 and 6. Yep. So next weekend. So this coming out right before Labor Day weekend. So, all right. Dave Applegate, Southern Power Sports Drag Racing Series had an event this past weekend. Where was it, and what was our expected turnout?
Well, we've got a guy, Steve and Katie Chappell, out of North Carolina. They own and run King of the Deep. It's a bunch of bounty holes. Well, they go to a lot of off-road parks, and they put on one hell of a show. Well, they go to a lot of off-road parks, and then some of these parks have drag racing. So they asked me to go to Top Trails OHV Park out in Talladega, Alabama this weekend and help them out with some drag racing. And we had an absolute blast. My guess is, I'm guessing, at least 400 spectators lined up, down the track. Again, at an off-road park, you're going to get that. This was at Top Trails event was called Party in the Park. So it was there. They do it every year, and it's for the kids that are going back to school. So we had 5 classes. We'll make it nice and short and sweet here. ATV stock, Isaac Miller takes the win over Kenny Holman. And ATV mod, which was allowing turbos, nitrous oxide, and so on. Most of these were 4x4 ATVs, by the way, which is really good because we have our new World Sand Drag News record for those guys. So we've seen a lot of them this weekend. The winner in ATV mod was Cam Mandershed. Our runner-up was Casey Smith. Casey Smith is one that's building the 4-wide down in Mobile, Alabama. Side-by-side, naturally aspirated. We had Talon Sparkman was our winner over Mark Maddox was a runner-up. We also had side-by-side turbo, or stock turbo, I should say. Gage Tucker took the win over Jay Rowe. Though that race right there was very, very close. Then we go to our side-by-side outlaw. This one was a little bit strange. So the track was good, but it wasn't to be honest, it wasn't good enough to hold a lot of horsepower. So the guys that were there that had big horsepower ended up going out first round. And my buddy Russell Perkins takes side-by-side Outlaw, and Dan Champ takes second place. Those two cars are about probably a 480 car, and they won side-by-side Outlaw. So it was cool to see because the faster guy, we just couldn't get down the track. So we did that. We also had a foot race real quick. We had the kids race. Mr. Carroll is what they called him. That was the boy's name. He won the foot race, got $50 thanks to King of the Deep. Then we had a women's foot race, and this is how it's worded. Talon Sparkman's girlfriend, because we didn't get her name. So that's kind of comical. And then we had the men's race, and this is another one that's good. We didn't get his name, but he had a shirt on that said Big Papa. So Big Papa gets your win in the foot race. Each one of those, they gave away $50. So it was a really good time. Keep in mind, us that go out and do the dirt drags, sand drags, most of us has got an off-road vehicle, to pull cars back or whatever, right? I mean, hit up some of these these off-road parks. There's plenty of them. The more that we get there, a lot of these parks have a drag strip. They may not be what we're used to seeing, but again, we show them. We might be able to get another one, and we'll get into that in the news segment a little bit later because I got some news about that later. And that's all I got, Isaac. Again, King of the Deep at Party in the Park at Top Trails Off-Road Park. Had a little race this weekend. Had a great time with lots of spectators. I think it was a 42 count total car count overall, which wasn't bad. It was good.
No.
And yeah, so check them out, King of the Deep. That's all I got, Isaac. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, hey, we are moving on to probably the biggest race in the Midwest this weekend. I don't think it's a stretch to say that. Gravelrama 54, I think it was, something to that.
Yep.
That is brought to you by 3-1 Go Life. That is the YouTube channel for Doug Millett and his family as they go on the road trucking, racing, and doing all kinds of stuff. So check them out on YouTube, 3-1 Go Life. Doug Millett, friend of the show and sponsor of the show, kicking off a YouTube channel and moving on. And Doug was on site as well as Mr. John Sorg, K-Dub, Damian Bowers, and our special guest, Mr. Mike Ellington. Mike, why don't you fill everybody in? You've been around a long time. We know you've been around a long time, but there may be some of our viewers that don't know you that well. So maybe just give a short introduction and where you're from, what you do, and that kind of thing.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for having me first off. I appreciate that. Yeah, Mike Ellington. I'm from Marysville, Ohio. Originally from Trenton, Ohio, and that's my sand drag background. That's where I got my start. There were a lot of tracks in that area, Gravelrama being the closest, the Cleves track. So, and I've been around since the 70s. Got started with my brother and my family. I think my brother started racing Jeeps. And then once I got into high school, I got a Jeep of my own. I think my senior year of high school, ran it for a couple years. Then built and altered. My brother and I have been chassis builders for quite a while on this kind of a side business. So that's kind of what I did for the longest time. And then just, now my whole family races. Usually it's my wife driving. Over the weekend, she drove her dragster. I drove the altered, and my oldest daughter, Riley, also drove the altered with me. So yeah, so it's kind of my background. I think a lot of people probably know me through either Sand Drag Central or my little side business, MKE Motorsports. So.
Little side business. I think you're selling yourself short. Mike is one of
a little side business these days. But
Mike does a great job, and I tell you what, folks, if you haven't seen Mike at a race, you haven't been in the same relative vicinity, because Mike seems to be everywhere. And besides tuning on two cars usually and talking about stuff and just the knowledge-based sand drag racing, Mike, very second to none. So grateful and very happy to have him on. So, all right, gentlemen, so you all were on site for Gravelrama. I was not. So we're going to let you steer the conversation a little bit. Let's start with Thursday. What happened? And maybe John Sorg, what was going on Thursday?
Well, Thursday you had the quick 8 that turned into the quick 16, which was pretty cool. Then you had the open bracket for everyone, really. And that was about it for Thursday night, wasn't it, Mike?
Yeah. So yeah, Thursday was kind of added maybe, I don't know, 15 years ago or so, 20 years ago, as kind of an extra race. Sometimes it was just test and tune. Sometimes, they would have a race. But here in the last few years, they've had it as, like you said, they had a quick 8. This year it was heads up, no index. And then they had like I said, the open bracket. And I believe 81 cars in the bracket is what I heard.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's what I recall.
yeah.
Damien, did you enter the bracket?
We ended up entering the bracket. I got there just in time to make one time trial pass, and the night just didn't activate, so it wasn't really a pass at all. So I went in blind first round.
So all that wrenching you were doing last weekend, skipping the pod and everything else, and the nitrous did not activate on the first pass.
Correct. We went back, fixed it, dialed a 25, and somehow won the first pass running a 29 on a 25.
Huh?
That
Hey,
works.
sometimes it happens.
Yep.
All right.
End up doing a little better than John up there.
I'd say I entered,
Oh,
then I exited early.
Johnny, who did you race?
What's that,
Who
Isaac?
did you race, Johnny?
I had TJ McDonald.
Oh,
One of
I
the
kind of had the same licks as Damien. I had a couple crap licks at the track, and I just didn't have enough. I just didn't have enough for TJ. That's plain and simple.
and not many did. TJ going to the finals, a 4.0 light almost every pass.
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, he was on a mission, man. He did good.
So, K-Dub, what were you doing during this time?
I came down Friday just to come hang out and see everybody. It's been too long since I've been to gravel. And then while I was there, I took a bunch of videos for you guys, took some photos, and then walked around, got to meet a bunch of people. So that's basically what I did. It was good to see Gravelrama again. It's been since 2019 since the last time I came down.
Nice.
Great job on the videos, too.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, thank
very
you.
much so. So, Damien, Thursday night, then we came down to what? Chris Ferry and TJ McDonald in the bracket, and it was Doug Vinlett and Rick Ensing making their way through the quick.
Dude. Doug Van Lett out round 2 with starter issues.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, we toasted the starter and bad timing.
Yeah, quite. So, who
Ended
do we
up
have in the final then for the quick 16?
Cody Trice and Rick Ensing.
Oh, Cody Trice with the new car, spraying it this time
And-
around, I'm guaranteeing.
And in the process, setting a new AA dragster ET record.
Nice.
Very cool.
Nice. And Rick Ensing's car really starting to come around, it seems, and run the numbers he was looking for.
At the very
very
end of
good.
at the very end of Saturday, he was getting down into the 60s.
That's saying something.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job with that car, getting it turned around and making it work. So
Yeah, because
Shout out to
I don't
them.
know how many people know this out there. They've done a ton of work to that car since what, John, like Memorial Day, basically.
oh, he goes in and changes everything, and he might figure something else out, and he'll change it all again. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he has something else in a couple weeks. So yeah,
It's very true.
Well, the changes they're making are absolutely working for him. So that's good to see.
Yes, very much so. So,
Yeah.
all right. So,
I think every pass on Thursday night for Rick was between a 274 and a 270 out of all,
Yeah.
we had 4 rounds and 2 qualifiers, and I think his 70 was in the finals, and I think Cody was in 286. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah,
which is
great
really
race.
rolling for that car, which, Mike, what are we? We're probably 10 passes or less on that car for them at this point.
Probably by the end of the weekend, we were getting close to 10. Yeah. I mean, he got the 3 passes on it in Michigan. And then, yeah, just the few passes over this past weekend. So, yeah, they're probably getting close to 10.
Nice. Congratulations to them, because that's impressive, going to the finals with a pretty much untested car. And Rick's car fairly untested as well, but to see both those guys walk on the way through there is very impressive. So, all right, so moving on to Friday. Friday is Hill Drag Day. So, we had Damien participating. Mike, did you guys have anybody participating on Friday?
Yeah, me. Yeah.
Oh, you were
I
driving
was in
Friday.
XB class. Yeah.
Okay. K-Dub was already finding the cooler, and Johnny, you were also
I was on the
driving as well.
I was on the hill drags.
All right,
Yeah,
so
Johnny ran.
we'll start with Mike. You said what, XB?
XB class, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
which give me a range. What are we looking at XB? What's a typical car there?
An XB class car, a naturally aspirated for me, naturally aspirated small block and an altered. I weigh in at around 17. I think my minimum weight had to be like 17, 12 to fit in the class with my combo. But you got, Sword was in XB class, with a big block and a dragster.
Braden.
Yeah.
The Cole Boys, Upchurch.
Right.
Used to be a class dominated by Weiss and Earl Lettner back in the day.
Okay. Yep.
We basically, I think if I had to guess, we were probably in the top 3 or 4 of the biggest classes.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd say you're right.
That
class was
XB
huge.
and probably the class I was in with A were some of the bigger ones.
Yeah.
Okay. So what does it take to run XB? I mean, time wise, I know what Brayton Cole, that's like
on the hill drags itself. So the hill drags are 100 feet. They're only 100 feet long. And probably the quickest cars in XB class, if you're anything under a 2-second pass, you're going to be probably one of the quicker cars in the class. I think I only had one pass. John put me out first round. Sword put me out first round. I think I was 209. So yeah, so something, low 2s, high 1s, and there was
Brayden busted off a 170 first round.
179.
Yeah, it looks unstoppable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That car just moves.
Yeah, it does. So, Sword, you managed to put Mike out first round. How many rounds in the hill drags did you go?
What was it, Kate? That was a 3. I took out Upchurch next, I think.
You went a few times. You went a few times for sure. I don't quite remember how far you went, honestly.
Semifinals, I got put out by Braden.
Okay.
I think it was me and oh gosh, who was it? Swamp Donkey, Kerr,
Yep.
and I can't remember.
Blake Cole or Brayden Cole. I know Cody
And
Trice
Darren
went out
Smith.
first round
Darren
running
Smith.
Otis's altered.
Darren Smith was our final 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not bad. Maybe explain to folks, one of you guys, how does gravel work as far as how do you know who you're running? It is not a typical bracket race, correct? It is not pull to the front 4 wide and we're pulling chips. They actually have a set. You know who you're running first round, correct?
Yeah.
Kinda.
that's the best way to put it.
Shows up.
Kinda.
So when we get classed in, once we go through tech and we weigh in, and we register for our class, we just pick a number out of a bowl, and it'll range, in our case, XB, XB1 through there was probably XB 25 or something like that. So they always just pair you up according to your number. If they're 1 and 2, 1 runs 2, 3 runs 4. So that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Low number gets left lane, high number gets right lane. You do not, no lane choice in it. You go where they tell you.
Sure. But you could, when Mike says 1 or 2, number 2 could be the last guy that registered for XB for the weekend. He just pulled number 2 out of the hat.
Exactly.
Right?
That's absolutely correct.
Okay. Excellent. Good deal. Yeah. So you really, now you run that person first round, flat drags, hill drags.
If everybody participates in every event, yes. In most cases, though, I don't remember. Like I said, I ran John first round Friday night, but I ran who did I run first round on Saturday? Somebody different. And then the person I was supposed to run on Saturday, I think, was the car ahead of me, and they didn't show up, so I ended up having to run the car. They scratched, you might have broke or something like that. So
sure,
they'll just I think I ended up running. I was number 6, so I think I ended up running car 7. So
interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So Damian Bowers, while this is all going on, you are running what class? A class?
A class. I ran before XB, so I was well exhausted by the time them guys came up, because we worked our asses off for that one.
And
If
you
you-
end up winning in the hill drags.
Yes, but if you hadn't seen, first and second rounds, both passes as I'm rolling off the throttle at the top of the hill, it backfires through the carburetor.
I saw a picture that I believe Mike posted on Sandtrack Central, and it looked like the whole, basically everything forward of the firewall was lit up underneath the hood there. So a fantastic picture. I loved it, but
Yeah, it was awesome.
it smelled
stuff.
expensive just from here. So
You didn't send your
Surprise-
beard.
Surprisingly cheap. The most expensive thing we burn up was spark plugs.
yeah, well, I mean, that's how you know you're on a good nitrous tune-up. Ask Gary Golubisky. If it's got, if it's got ground strap left, that means you haven't gone far enough. So
The first round pass, when it backfired, it actually pulled the threads out of the carburetor for the air cleaner stud.
whoa,
And taped the hood with it.
wow.
But we ended up figuring out it popped the vacuum cap off the carburetor, so we fixed that vacuum leak and was able to make the second round where the picture Mike Ellington got of me running against Rusty Searle. It torched the plugs halfway up the hill and backfired at the very top. Then we pulled more nitrous away from it, more timing, and was able to outrun Braden Cole in the finals.
Okay. All right. Very good. So one event win for you. Nicely done. Guys, other passes that maybe stood out to you on the hill drags and on Friday.
Tin man jumping.
I was gonna
hill.
say that had to be the highlight of the evening. The airborne
Jason,
Tin Man.
Jason
can't
Terrell
remember his
from
last
Tin
name.
Soldier.
Jason,
Launching,
Jason Terrell from Tin Soldier Race Cars there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Launching
in-
Ryan Wilson's car up over the top there. That was quite interesting. Who was he racing? I did not.
Austin Bullock.
Okay. I did not recognize that car for whatever reason in the other lane when that happened. So
It was neck and neck. Neither of them were lifting, and they both just took flight. And then Tim Soldier, I guess, they got tacoed up on the big end, but he was all right, thankfully.
Yeah,
wow.
when
Yeah, he
it
walked
crested that
away.
hill, it nosed over hard. And when it hit, it bent the car, pushed his foot into the throttle, and it hit the wide open throttle switch again.
Whoa.
You could hear
And
me in
from
the
what I
live video, like,
understand,
holy crap.
the picture that's out there, it was folded up further to where the air cleaner was touching the windshield, and it
Right.
unfolded after it stopped.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
Oh.
ugly.
His feet were in the sand inside the car.
Wow. That car's got some passes on it, but still, that's quite something. The car folded
I would
up.
say it's
They-
probably gonna be his last pass. It was pretty devastated.
The safety equipment done its job. He's okay. That's the main thing.
Right.
And
Wow.
he is Tin Soldier's a chassis guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yep, they
Well, he picked the right
have
guy
used-
to do it.
They don't build customer cars anymore, but I think that might change for this one.
I was gonna say they might just rip one out for fun, huh?
And if there was anyone to know how to drive something with that kind of power, it definitely was him, as he's famous for the Charlie Brown Malibu.
That's true. Very much so. So, all right. So, moving on to Saturday. Mike, what's happening on Saturday at Gravel?
Saturday is the longest day. It has been for the last few years. It's all drag racing day. So they start off in the morning, and it's a bracket race, and it's a bracket race for women mainly. Yeah. And so they've been doing it as a bracket for probably the last 4 or 5 years, if I had to remember right.
Something like that.
Yeah. So then, any of the women can compete. The car has to be entered in one of the classes. So, for example, my oldest daughter, Riley, she ran the altered. I think honestly it was pretty small this year. I think we were less than 10 cars in it entered, because a lot of the women just entered in the open bracket anyway, the open competition. But it was a 9 or 10 car field, and so we kicked that off. We actually got that done pretty quickly. Rebecca Boyce actually won first place, which is no stranger to that. That's pretty commonplace for her.
Not.
Right.
And then second was actually Riley. So my daughter Riley actually took second place for that. And
Nice.
then quick intermission, they prep track, and then just start into the open class heads up racing. And it lasted probably until about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. And then all the winners come back and run the Black Eliminator bracket race. So that's why I said it's like the longest day.
Absolutely. Okay. So one thing to note, and unless besides the bracket classes, everything at Gravel is heads up. Correct, there, gentlemen? Is that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
Okay. Hill drags, flat drags, it's all heads up. So no worrying about dial time, no worrying about running the number. It's flat out just beat the other person in the other lane. So Mike, you had 2 cars you were tuning on Saturday. Yep. Riley was running the altered in the women's bracket. Kathy running the dragster in the open. Is that the open or is that?
Yeah, it's unlimited. It's the class is now called unlimited. Yeah, but it's definitely a run what you brung class now. It's a lot of top alcohol dragsters now, basically.
Sure.
So and then and I also ran the altered too. I was in again XB class. So.
Oh yeah, you guys were on it. So lots going. All right.
Yep.
Well, let's get rolling with that then. Sword, did you run your car on the flat drags?
I did not. I dedicated myself to helping Doug for Saturday.
Okay, that's good. And so you guys were in the unlimited class along with Mike and Kathy, obviously. So
yes.
And did they have They didn't have qualifying. It was just right in.
No, you just jump right in and you're in the first round. I mean, it's all or nothing.
And who did you guys have in the first round then?
Oh, I don't know the guy's name. It was that new car though.
Josh Burling.
We had Josh Burling, that guy.
Had the Jeep grill in the front, right?
He had the what?
Had a Jeep grill on the front of the body.
I don't know. I was looking at it from the side.
Yeah, I believe you did have Josh, if I remember right. And actually, that's who I also had in first round in XB class.
Okay.
And he's got a Land Cruiser body, kind of center seater Jeep that he ran in XB class. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that is who you guys had first round.
Yeah, we got around the first round, and then second round with the starter issue, we got kind of behind the 8 ball with everything anyway, and then starting to get everything gathered up, and the rear end took a shit. So yeah, that kind of sucked.
Yeah, no doubt. So
but you guys kind of had a helping hand on that blower starter over the weekend too.
Oh yeah, Joe Gorney. Shout out to Joe Gorney because he ran down and brought us a blower starter so we could continue the weekend.
All right, shout out to Joe. That's awesome. So, all right, so Mike, you guys got going, and in the unlimited class, who did you guys have first round then?
Cody. Or I'm sorry, did we have Cody first round? Man, why am I'm like?
It's hard to remember because we raced so many times, and like you had 3 cars going. I mean,
no, I'm sorry. Yes, no, we had Kyle Farwick first round. We ran Cody in the quick 16. We had Kyle Farwick first round of unlimited. So yeah.
And this is Kyle Farwick unfettered for those of you out there saying, "Oh, that's like a 295 car." No, this is Kyle Farwick with the leash off. And
yeah, Kyle Farwick unleashed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I believe he pedaled it and still ran in the 90s. I think he might have ran a 295 with a pretty big pedal job. And for whatever reason, we just struggled getting a hold of anything down there all weekend. We only went at 332, I think. So
I'd say you weren't the only one. It was kind of a struggle bus there compared to what it was last year.
And we had found out on Friday that our chassis in the dragster was broke. I had to put the car in a trailer and haul it up to the Trice's house, and I had to weld uprights back in the car.
Oh my!
I wish you just said something. We had a TIG welder in the trailer.
I found that out from about 3 people later, but
you showed us the pictures of that. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Wow. That's impressive though. I mean, to load up the car, go offsite, repair, and come back.
Yeah.
That's saying something.
Yeah. We made it back to the track at like 5:30 Friday night, I think. 5:30 or 6. And I think we left at 3.
Typical
Gravelrama. I didn't find it until later in the day. We had taken the body off to wash. Kathy wanted to wash the body on the car, and we had taken it off. And I started looking at things and just kind of checking things over. And I started seeing some uprights that had some cracks in them. And then the more I looked, the worse it got.
Oh,
So
oh, oh.
Like I
Oh,
said, typical Gravelrama thrash. It wouldn't be it without some of them.
it sounds like it. So, all right. So, Damian Bowers, what's going on with you guys at this point in time?
Okay, so after Friday night, we changed carburetors over. We're the first class heads-up class out. About midway through the pack, I draw James Henderson in his Hams beer Jeep. Used to be Joey Ruther's Flashpoint. And before that, in the 90s, I believe it was Jerry Stevens' old Jeep.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But it's got
Now-
nitrous fed 6-liter. It's a street legal Jeep, no less.
I was going to say, when you say the Hams Jeep, this is not the Hams Jeep that's for sale currently, correct?
No, that is his other Jeep, which is a very old Power Pro. Might be one of the very early ones from back in the mid 80s.
Okay. All right. So you drew him, and I've seen the video. What happened there?
It did not like the carburetor change. It stumbled as soon as the first yellow came on. It started coughing and sputtering. So I had to get it down to a point where it was running. I seen, oh shit, the light's green, stabbed it wide open and let go of the button, and it lit and took off. He had a 468 light. I had a 1.6 light.
Good gravy.
The margin of victory was 0.01.
I assumed because of how early he left, I thought he went super red, and you were
No,
you were
I
just
got
dead
lucky.
late.
I was that dead late.
Wow.
And I just had enough to drive around him on the big end.
Hey, all right. So who did you have in the finals then?
Final round, I had, who has been, other than when Kersey brought his Volkswagen to it, this guy has been one of the top dogs in A for the past 15 years. He won it last year running 390s, Rodney Upchurch. And he had been chasing the track all day, a lot like the bigger cars. That track fought a lot of people all day long. And in the final, he turned it all the way up. I ran a 414 to his 407, but I had over a 10th on him on the tree, so just enough to push him out the back door.
Wow. Impressive. Well done. Congratulations, Damien.
It's been a long time we've worked for this one.
So you doubled up on the hill drags and the flat drags. K-Dub, you were sitting back, taking pictures, enjoying the social life and everything else. What did you see going on?
My biggest takeaway from Saturday, or pretty much the whole event, was I know I complained about this to Mike Ellington a bunch in the past. I loved how the two-wheel drive cars were with the four-wheel drive cars, and it was all, everybody was together versus years past. I think that was a great rule change they had a couple of years ago. The classes were all bigger. Everything seemed a little better. That was the first time I got to see it in person. I think it was a great change. And I think they've been doing it for a year or two now, but I thought it was awesome.
There you go. All right. So all the class winners come back together, and we're on to the Bob Black. Mike, what is the Bob Black for those that don't know?
So Bob Black was a racer who had been going to Gravelrama through the 70s and probably early 80s. He was from Michigan. Probably none of you guys that are from Michigan knew him, just because I think he was an older racer back then, kind of one of the original.
I knew the
like
name.
I said,
I knew of the name.
He ran I believe it was a Dodge
Right.
Power Wagon, I believe, or a Ram Charger, something like that. And it was called the original Reverend Mr. Black. And he got away from racing for a while. I believe it was 1995. He came back. He had bought a kind of a Jeep funny car deal to run, and he crashed on the flat drags, and they worked, but they couldn't save him. And so every year after that, since I think they started with the first year of the 1996, it's been the Bob Black Memorial Eliminator. So yeah, that's kind of a tribute to him.
No, just as an aside, and this is from Jerry Schwartz, rest in peace. The last time we called at the memorial, he got on us really bad. It is just the Bob Black Eliminator. It's not to be a memorial. That's from his own wife.
Okay.
Just wanted to make that correction.
Well, bam.
Yeah.
All right. So how many cars are we talking, Mike, at this point?
So technically, every single first place winner from that day can come back, whether they choose to or not. And then what they did this year for the women's bracket was first and second place came back. And I believe we ended up around 16 cars, because obviously some of the cars, didn't come back, chose not to for whatever reason. So I think we did have 16 cars total.
Okay. And how did that end up going?
It went really well for our family. So like I said, because they took first and second from the women's bracket, Riley was able to come back. And she was on it. There's no practice for this. There's no time trials or anything. You just kind of got to take what you ran through the day and kind of, come up with a dial in. Well, she hadn't ran since almost 10 o'clock in the morning. And so we just, in the morning, she had broke out in the final. She ran a 3:58. So we just threw a 360 dial in on it and let her go and said, just pay attention, watch the other lane. And ended up making it all the way to the finals. Had some pretty tough competition. Semifinals, she had John Brown, which, probably one of the toughest racers at Gravelrama ever. And she ran 3:6:00 on the 60. And at that point, we got a little nervous, so we redialed her for the finals. I think we put a 58 on her, and she had to run Cody Hembry from Germantown, Ohio, and they're actually they're about the same age, and so they kind of grew up racing together. And he was the winner of XD class, if I remember correct. He was XD class winner, and at the very end, we had been back to back to back. You don't go back to your trailer at this point. You pretty much, you just kind of pit out of the staging lanes, refuel, charge batteries, whatever you got to do. And so by that time, we'd all put, I think, 3 passes on the cars. And so we took just a little bit of a break. And so that gave us some time to, kind of talk. And we were, we had a generator between the two of us with 2 battery chargers going. And she took the win. I think it was a 360 with a 1 on that pass. It's great. It was awesome. Her mother's
shout out
twice.
I got to give a shout out to
ahead.
Cody there for actually making it in with a Volkswagen car and getting an
Yes.
XD win too. That was pretty cool.
Yep, they did great.
Awesome. That is great.
I'm sorry, I'm glad to see that Riley won, because she put me out there at the Legends race. And, I kind of put myself out, to be honest with you. I broke out on her, but still, I was rooting for her, and I think she won. I think she made it quarters or semis there, didn't she?
She did a couple. Yeah, she's been doing good this year. It's the first time she's actually run several races with the car. And last year was her first year in that car. We'd kind of had the car just sitting off to the side for a few years, so I put it back together for both girls to run. And so she's getting used to it. She's starting to starting to kind of understand what the car is going to do. And she's doing well. I've been really happy.
Seeing the young blood coming up.
Yep.
That's really cool seeing Cody and Riley and them guys coming up.
Yeah, she just turned 20 last week.
Okay.
Wow.
Good for her, man. She's doing a great job.
Yeah, definitely. So great to see her do well, and great to see the altered back out as well. So, okay, so we're on to Sunday at this point, and it's time for the Big Eliminator. I'm sure those that are out there have seen the video already of one of the gums getting stuck on the hill and not making it over. What's the word? If you don't make it over the hill, which way do you go?
They'll do either or.
Okay.
Sometimes they'll push them backwards and push you back down the hill, or sometimes they'll just yank you over the front with a loader. They'll pull the big loader up on the backside and pull you over. So, and in that case, I'm the one who took that video. And I think about that point, we knew it was going to be a while up there. We went back to the camp to kind of set our chairs up. So I don't know which way that car went after that. So
no, that was something else. So did any of you guys run the Big Eliminator then?
No, I jetted out on Sunday morning.
Okay, because you were trying to get back home because you had to work on Monday.
Yeah, I had to do that working thing. Gets in my way.
saving
Yeah.
my equipment for the rest of the summer because that hill is very hard on parts.
Also true. So, K-Dub, how long did you stay for Sunday?
I was out of there right after the kids, but I saw the video of Wayne taking Sandra over the hill.
That was cool.
That's right. Yeah, I saw that as well. That was pretty impressive. So another thing Wayne can rub in Dave's face the next time he's on, that he went over the Big Eliminator with Sandra and not all by himself. So
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, that was
I
that was an interesting story. So the last few years they've been raffling off rides. You can win a ride and go over the hill with people. And Ryan Wilson was going to be one of the people given rides, but the hole in the oil pan of his
That other
truck
things.
that threw a wrench in it, and his mother-in-law Dina was going to be the ride. She's the one who won the ride with him, and she's like, "Well, I've been over the hill before. I'll just give it." And she asked Sandra, she's like, "Do you want to take my ride?" And she said, "Yeah, that'd be great." And so then Wayne said, "Well, let me give her the ride then, since the truck's broke." And that's how that came to be. So Wayne had already finished. Wayne had already finished his, he had already been finished for the day, but he brought the Jeep back out just for that pass.
That's pretty cool. So do we know any of the winners
Wayne
from the Big Eliminator then?
Damien, do you recall? I know there were no unlimited cars. XA, if I had to guess, it was probably Jimmy Fulton, maybe.
Oh,
yeah, because he was the only one
XA
paid
class.
for both fronts.
Yeah. So the others, oh man, I watch, but we sit way in the back. So I don't.
And sometimes it's hard to keep track of it because, especially down in the bowl, I can't hear what's going on the PA most of the time. I know there were some really exciting runs. Dan Longnecker was there with his buggy. He had a really big backfire out the exhaust trying to stage on the hill and was not able to make it up, and then unable to fire for XD class. There was some exciting runs. Tom Struckman with his new Jeep launched it off the top, and from what I understand, his back's a little sore after that.
oof.
Yeah, that one was a pretty good launch over the top. Probably the most exciting, actually, within the last 2 years, there's I think 3 side-by-side classes now, and they started letting the side-by-sides actually enter as well.
Oh wow.
Crystal Ferry, Chris's wife, she put on a heck of a show in her Razor. She launched off the top too, and while it was in the air,
class.
it pretty much kicked sideways in the air and landed sideways on the backside. It didn't roll.
Oh my
But you
god.
can't see that. Like, at least from where I was sitting, you can't see that, and you thought for sure she rolled. So
Wow.
yeah, if you get a chance, there's a couple of videos of her floating around.
I saw one of the videos that was like, oh my god, she was not lifting.
Yeah, no. So
Wow.
yeah, that was great. But yeah, there's a lot of good and really, I feel bad for you guys kicked it off with the Corey Gum video. That Jeep went over the hill probably 4 or 5 times on Sunday with, I think they had 2 or 3 different drivers in it. I picked that video because you could hear how rough the car was running while it was trying to stage.
Right.
And then the getting stuck on top, that's kind of, I could have picked a handful of other videos of that Jeep just going over it like it was no problem. But that one was the one that's kind of the one that, if somebody is not familiar with the hill, they can see, yeah, this thing is actually kind of tricky. So
yeah, very much so. So, all right. So Damien, we'll start with you. Gents, most impressive or least impressive, or just something that really stood out to you for the weekend? And Damien, you cannot pick yourself winning 2 classes.
Right. I was so busy, so I'm gonna have to sit here and think for a second.
All right. Sorg, I saw your hand was up. So
I was pretty impressed with Rick Ensing. I mean, like I talked about earlier, he's really starting to come around and get tune-ups in that car. It's taking him a while, but they're starting to find it. It's nice to see.
It is. And, having blown heavy doesn't hurt your, top alcohol chances either. So we'll leave it at that. So, K-Dub, how about you?
Craig Gumsreiser, that was one best engineered,
yes.
the weekend. That thing's awesome. I think Thursday he ran a 308. I think that was his first weekend out. I could be wrong on that. And then Saturday he gave it 4 psi a boost because he had the unfortunate draw of Rick, I believe, and then shot sideways. Rocks nailed the Gum brothers, and then there's a video where one of them's like, "I'm bleeding." Oh, how hard it took off left. So if they can get some more passes, that thing's going to be awesome.
Yeah, that is one thing with gravel is it always brings out new rides. It always brings out interesting stuff and brings out some new people. So, yeah, that car is very, very impressive. It looks really cool from the pictures and interested to see the thing run in person. So, Mike, what do you got?
Oh man, so many. But like I said, obviously I'm gonna be like Damon. I'm not gonna pick myself with Riley winning the Bob Black. That was great. But Jamie Wilson. Jamie Wilson was women's low ET winner this year. First round, she won a 309 in their new dragster.
They're
Wow.
finally starting to get it to go A to B.
Yeah. Yeah, that thing ripped on Saturday. Wow. It was impressive.
That is.
So yeah, that one was a good one. Who else was off the top of my head?
I have to.
Yeah, like I said, I'd have to make a list, but I should have. I should have known. I should have been better prepared for being on here tonight. But
it's all good. We'll let you off the hook, but we'll have you on again. So, Damien, what do you got?
Besides what's been said already, I have to say an awesome job on a new combination. It didn't run very good Saturday. They didn't run it Friday night, but on the hill they got it to work. Joe Zwick and his wife's Bronco debuting a whole different engine to the sand drag world out here. A Barra Straight 6 from Australia, Ford Straight 6.
Wow.
With a turbo.
Interesting. That's
and he got, I believe, first or second in A class on the Eliminator with it. First time out with the combo.
Interesting.
And
that's definitely.
Yeah, it's a very unique combo over here.
Very much so. Well, that's cool.
Yeah,
I can't believe none of you guys brought up the skillet racing, which is going to segue into our next part. One, I saw the video. That guy's got way too many clothes on to have gone fast. I'll just say that to begin with. And two, we're not going to name whoever it is because that's not important. The important part was the actual skill raising. That guy looked like he was flying, though. I mean, that was fast.
I'm not sure what you're talking about, Isaac. I don't know. Oh.
I feel like there's a possibility skillet racing should be added to the class list at Gravel.
Yeah, it's in the rule book.
You can get into the Bob Black if you win the skillet race.
The rule book says there's to be no skillet races on the property. That's how it's classified. Is that it's illegal. But yeah.
But those are full cast iron pants.
Got it.
That's pretty bad when you have to state in your rules you outlaw skillet racing, for God's sake. What's going on down there, Mike?
See what you guys miss when you leave on Sunday morning?
I guess.
Apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, Sunday night's a different animal. We had a huge ride through the entire campground. It's a Bub Wilson Memorial Parade. We probably had, if I had to guess, we probably had 100 side-by-sides, golf carts, pit bikes, you name it. We went through the entire campground first, and then you kind of end up over near where Bub always camped at, and then that's kind of where where the skillet racing happens. So
allegedly.
That's
allegedly.
Right. Yeah.
Allegedly.
Fantastic. Well, guys, it sounds like a great weekend. Again, bummed that I was not there. Maybe next year. You never know. 2026 could be the year. But sounds like a great time, and it sounds like a really good turnout. Give us an estimate. How many cars do you think were there?
Boy.
That's a rough one, huh?
Would ask that.
because I know you have cars entered in multiple classes, so I
That's
know
what I
that's
was about
hard.
to
I mean,
say is, do you want to count the multi-entries? Because I know the Wilsons, when they came through tech, I think Ryan had 12 or 13 tech sheets with him.
wow.
Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, Thursday, just the bracket alone had 81 cars in it. So you're probably close to 200 total, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
And it was a little down. I mean, there were, at least just ride through the pits, there were a lot more open spaces in the pit area than normal, but still, I mean, a good quality show. Probably the fastest cars that have ever been at Gravelrama this year.
For each,
Multiple.
for
There
most
were
of the classes.
at least 6 cars that ran in the twos, and that's never really happened before.
Sure.
So,
Wow, that's impressive. So, well, it sounds like a really good time, guys. Congratulations again on being there. Congratulations on everybody that did well. Damien, well done, picking up 2 class wins. Mike, tuning on 3 cars for the whole weekend is impressive, and picking up a win out of the deal. You guys did great as well. So, K-Dub, thanks for the video. Johnny, you were there. I mean, and you did pretty well. I mean, you can't be unhappy with that.
I had a good time. We just kept breaking stuff. It was just kind of like, wow. We
Now I gotta ask, Kyle, you're bringing the side-by-side for Unlimited class next year, right?
Yeah, for
You're doing
sure.
all 3.
turbo car.
I would dominate that hill class. I saw that they had nothing for me. I'll make sure I'm there next time.
Now, just as a warning, from what I heard from Kyle, Brody's probably bringing his next year too.
Ooh.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, I guess I'll have to bring mine.
Well,
Yeah.
there you
There we
go.
go.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's what we need. We need some variety. I think it's going to help. So yeah, Dave, something like yours, it'd be amazing, right?
Yeah.
On its roof, it'd probably just go patink.
I just build you a wheelie bar for the hill drags. You'll be fine.
One thing about it, Mike will be about 60 feet away from the back of the car because I think I
Absolutely.
covered you, didn't I?
Absolutely. Yeah, that was my own fault. But yeah, I was in too much of a hurry.
Been there,
That is
done
honestly
that.
the truth. You cannot stand behind Dave Applegate when he leaves staging. That is just
Yes.
not a good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
And it was a double pumper. Mike dodged the first one, got whaled by the second one. So I mean, he was ready. He just wasn't all the way ready.
Can't
Yeah.
be any worse than me at the Texas Mud Drags with that big Ford.
Yeah, that also was not good. Damien almost disappeared for a second. So
Well, check out Mike's Facebook page. He put a picture of a guy, and it's been on there for a while, a little video. I don't know where that was at, but a guy's walking across the track with like some food and drinks, and the dragster takes off and just blows everything out of his arms. And Mike put on there like, this is what it's like, something like, this is what it's like when you walk behind Dave Applegate or something. It was hilarious.
we're going to move on to the preview section, which is brought to you by Silverback Off-Road Speedway. Silverback Off-Road Speedway, your #1 place in Michigan for great sand drag action. Got a couple races left here in the 2025 season, so stop by, check them out. You can find them on Facebook or on the web as well. Silverback Off-Road Speedway.
And then we want to give a shout out to racinginthedirt.com. Racinginthedirt.com. Go online, check out their tires and wheels, their products, the Racing in Dirt chassis, whether you're looking for just a roll cage or you're looking for a full build turnkey. They offer it all. On-site welding and fabrication, incredible selection of parts, experienced and helpful staff with over 40 years of motorsports competition experience. That is racinginthedirt.com.
All right, so gentlemen, we're wrapping up with gravel. Great to have that. So let's move on to previews. And I believe Dave Applegate has a preview of not one, but back-to-back weekends for you coming up here.
Yes, we do. This is for Southern Power Sports Drag Racing Series. So we really didn't like to do it back-to-back weekends. But, you know, again, as we've talked about before, this is still a new series, and there's a lot of other, you know, people out there that's got races. So I get what I get for right now. Hopefully in the next year, you know, a few years go by, I'll get some better dates, but we're going to make this work. So our first one is coming up this weekend, Labor Day weekend at Newtown Dragway. Willard has told me this is really the first series that's ever been to his track in many years. Isaac, I think you mentioned that a few episodes ago.
Yep.
So really excited about that. I talked to Willard today. Thursday night's going to be just come in if you're out of town, set up, hang out with your buddies. Friday we start doing some test and tune around noonish, somewhere around there. Getting the racing. We've got, I would go over all the classes. Most of you know, but I'm going to go through it real quick. We have 295 index. We've got 350 index, 40 index. We have ATV 4x4 ATV Outlaw, 4x4 ATV Pro Mod. We've got Outlaw side-by-sides. We've got Outlaw Pro Mod, or I'm sorry, side-by-side Pro Mod. We've got side-by-side Top Sportsman, which is a 4.0 index just for the side-by-sides. We also have a side-by-side Sportsman, which is just a bracket just for the side-by-sides. And then I've got a trail class for both 4x4 ATVs and side-by-sides. Just your basic 4x4 or side-by-side that's not been altered. I got Super Pro and Pro. Did a little bit differently. Kind of got this from the Blacktop. Super Pro is 449 and faster, and Pro is 450 and slower bracket. At the end, we have what's called King of. So we had a King of Silverback, which I think John Sorg won that one, I believe, at Silverback for me. And then this one's going to be King of Newtown. So we've got plenty of classes. Also, Newtown had a rained out event, so they're bringing some ATVs. Some of the wing dingers are coming. And Willard also told me, as well as David and his wife, who actually helped Willard, said that they have not had full size and four-wheelers together in many, many years. So they're excited about it. So I'm really looking forward to Newtown. Never been there. I've been told by many people that it's an absolutely beautiful track. Willard, he says, he's like, look, it's consistent. It's not the fastest track, but it's consistent. And I like that honesty from Willard.
You won't be
Then we leave
disappointed.
there. What's that?
You won't be disappointed. It's a great
No,
facility,
I don't
and
believe
Willard's
so.
easy to work with.
And look, he called me today and we got to talking, and he's asked me, he goes, how do you want the racetrack? And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, how deep you want? I mean, he was asking all these questions. He is ready to do what he needs to do for what, Southern Power Sports is trying to accomplish here. So, but then the following week, we go to Tri County Four-Wheelers up there in Lisbon, Ohio. And that one, that one there seems like it's going to get a lot of traction. Again, all same classes, 295, all that stuff. The one at Tri County is $15,200 in cash and prizes to hand out, not counting racers pay, money they put in. And then Tri County, they got the big money bracket race. So that big money bracket race is Saturday, and Tri County is putting in an extra $1,500 as of now. So that brings that weekend's total to $16,700 to hand out with cash and prizes. So both these races, as all the races from Southern Power Sports, are brought to you by HPT Turbochargers, HPL Superior Lubricants, and Mr. RPM Cycle. Please check us out. If you have any questions, obviously get a hold of really any of these guys that's on here right now knows a little bit about it. And it's new. I'm trying to get it out there and get it bigger and bigger. And I think it's growing. I know Mike has put it on his page. That's Sandrag Central, right?
Yep.
He's got it on there. And I thank you for that, Mike, for doing that for me. So, it's going to take some time. It's not going to happen overnight, but second year, and we're already at $94,200 to hand out total in 6 races. So got to be doing something right, man. Next year, I'm shooting for over 100. We'll see what happens. John Sorg has been a huge help for me. Kato, did you raise your hand?
Thanks, Dave.
No, I was just saying money symbol.
Oh, money symbol. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'll
Yeah,
be there
so,
in Lisbon, so that'll be fun. I'm
So
excited.
Sorg's going to Lisbon.
I'm
Mike,
going to Lisbon.
is that a track you guys are interested in going into as well?
I've been there. I've been there before, but I think I'm trying to remember if we don't have a race elsewhere that weekend. I'd have to look, but we have been there before. That's where my wife grew up racing at. That's where her family would always go.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been there. I've only been there maybe 3 times, but yeah, it's like a 3-hour trip for me to get there.
Okay. I would ask Damien if he's going, but apparently he took an unscheduled pit stop and decided to exit for a little bit here, but that's okay. So So you're headed down there for the 5th and 6th.
Yes, sir.
But you're going to be at Silverback on Labor Day weekend, correct?
That is correct. I will be there Labor Day weekend.
All right. And Friday night of Labor Day weekend, we're doing something a little different, I heard. 375 index class.
Yes.
We're doing a mini bike shootout, and we're doing the daily driver class. Is that correct?
That is correct. So they're
All
gonna
right.
try to do stuff, and that'll be interesting.
Very much
Well,
so.
also got to throw in real quick, Isaac, before we roll on, is Caleb Mings. It will be at Tri County all the way from California for the Southern Power Sports race. So he is flying out there.
Yes.
I'm excited about that. That's going to be pretty cool.
Nice. All right. So, Johnny, at Silverback on Labor Day weekend, Friday night, like I said, we got 375 index. We have the mini bike
350.
shootout, 350 index, and they're running the
Open
daily
bracket.
driver shootout, right?
And daily driver, yeah.
All right. So, daily driver shootout is also going to be have some added prizes from Truck and Van Specialties of Hudsonville.
Oh, that's Hudsonville.
Yep, Jeff Miller, and they are putting up $200 for first, a $100 gift certificate for second, and a $50 gift certificate for third. So some good money to be made. Now,
Yeah, very cool.
is that going to be? Do you know? Is that going to be a bracket, or is that going to be an index class for the daily driver deal?
That I could not tell you because I just caught up on a lot of this when I got home, and that I cannot verify and be right.
All right. So without knowing for sure, I would say check out Silverback's Facebook page
Correct.
and see what they have to say. They should have it all ironed out by the time. But this coming Friday, Saturday, Labor Day weekend will be racing at Silverback, followed by September 5 and 6, which I believe is their last points race of the year, coming up there at Silverback Off-Road. Correct, Johnny?
Yes, it is. That's their last points race of the year.
All right.
It may not be their last race of the year. I think they still have R3 on the calendar. So, other than that, yeah, the last 2 events of the year.
Nice. All right. So, with that, we are going to move on to, hold on a second. September 5 and 6, Thunder Valley's having a race here, guys. The Top Eliminator Challenge. Big added money for the Top Eliminator class. Let me see now. Okay.
What's his name's coming out to that too? Chris Miner's car with right?
Bobby Cottrell.
I believe
Bobby Cottrell driving.
Right. I believe so, especially with the fact that we'll have some breaking news here. The Southern California race at Lake Elsinore has been canceled for September. So those guys need a place to race, and it sounds like they are coming to Green Valley, Missouri for the Top Eliminator Challenge at the Show Me Fall National, September 5 and 6. So I will read you the flyer that they sent me here today. Friday is going to be a test and tune, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. And then Top Eliminator qualifiers at 5 and 7. This is added money to the Top Eliminator class. Chris Miner, $1,000. Acura Machine Shop, $1,000. R&S Collision Center, $2,000. Bailey Racing, $1,000. And K-Brick Racing, $1,000. So that's all added money to that Top Eliminator class. Pro 1 Cars has $1,000 added as well. So there's going to be a 50-50 cars and 50-50 ATV class running on Friday night. Entry fee is $50 per. And then Saturday, we have Pee-wees, Juniors, Sport ATV, Pro 2 ATV, Pro 1 ATV, a side-by-side class, Sport Comp, Pro 1 cars, Pro 2 cars, and then the big class is Top Eliminator. 295 index, Pro Tree, $6,000 plus added money for that class. So if anybody's looking for a place to Top Eliminator race, the Show Me Fall Nationals there at Thunder Valley sounds like a pretty good turnout. So
right,
if you're not going to Lisbon, that might be a good direction to head out west. So like John said, I believe Chris Miner and his group are coming out from the West Coast like I said, with that race being canceled, they're looking for someplace to race as well. So, all right.
No, Damien, go ahead.
Franklin County four-wheelers next weekend with their slow class nationals.
That's right. What are the
Friday night, a 5.0 and slower only. You can bring whatever you want. You just can't dial anything faster than a 5 flat.
Okay, and that's Labor Day weekend?
Yep, and they're also going to be doing their standard bracket program points race on Saturday as well as their kids program. Which
Okay.
is doing really good in this area.
Yeah, I was just saying the kids' big money race a couple weeks ago had quite a bit of added money and had a very, very good turnout, it looked like.
Oh, yeah, it ran till 3 o'clock almost.
Good night.
They ran double eliminations for the kids.
Whew.
Wow.
All right. Well, that's a late evening, I gotta say, so no doubt about it. All right, so we are gonna move on to our final part of the episode, which is gonna be the news segment. And we'll let each of us come up with some news that you can use or not use, your choice, as we end up our show here. So be thinking about that. Johnny, do you want to go first?
Well, yeah, I'm heading to, my news for me is I'm skipping Silverback and heading to Tri County for that event down there with Dave Applegate, so I can hang out with them guys. Unfortunately, I have to miss a race.
There you go. Does every race count towards your points total, or do you get to drop one?
No, there's no dropping.
No dropping.
No dropping.
So it sounds like you extend your lead over Labor Day if you want to win.
That's the only chance I've got.
Well, there we go. You know it's got to happen then.
But there is points in Southern Power Sports, and right now he's
But
on
I'm
top.
also leading the points in Southern Power Sports,
That's
so
Dave,
I got
don't
to
encourage
stick with
you.
that.
Come on.
Well, that's true.
He's gonna make
That's
me
a good
travel.
point, Isaac.
I need to show up to the race at Cleveland at the end of the month.
You need to show up at Lisbon at the weekend after. What do you? Isaac was going to ask you, are you going?
Yeah.
No, after this weekend, we're for sure swapping motors in the Jeep. After this coming weekend, so putting the 6-liter back in it. Dad's got to defend his points lead at Brookville for the Outlaw Series.
I would see if Mike would go, but he'll bring Riley, and she'll just put me on the damn trailer. So you know.
That's a good point.
K-Dub, what do you got?
Fortunately, I don't got any news at this moment. I'll keep my ear to the ears. I'll keep my ear out for anything. Let you guys know.
Are you riding the Banshee this coming weekend at Silverback?
Oh yeah, I am, and then I'm gonna cause some havoc. I'm out of points protection, so I'm just gonna screw over Stoner. I'm gonna try to go after Johnny, my brother. I'm gonna make sure he doesn't win the points for sure. So it's a busy weekend of Labor Day.
Wow.
Yeah, how's that title defense going? That title defense has been long.
Oh yeah. I wanted to go after you so bad, but I kept losing in all the worst spots and all the worst classes. So what can I do?
It's a risk.
Oh man. All right, Mike, what do you got going?
Man, it's hard to even think about what's upcoming once you finish this past weekend. It's like I haven't had a chance to even think ahead, but I do know we got to at least got to hit the Outlaw Series at Brookville in a couple weeks. I think it's mid-September sometime. Definitely know we're going to that. I'm not even sure at this point what the rest of the races look like, but
We'll be going to Gravelrama as well at the end of this September. I think it's the weekend after the Outlaw, so we'll be bringing Southern Power Sports there, so keep that in mind.
oh, nice.
There you go. Close to home. Got a good bracket class that pays well. I mean, definitely
I'll be
worth going.
Yeah.
So
I'll be
Yep, 295s there too.
there you go.
2,400 some odd to hand out.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that, and should draw a crowd hopefully. So people can hold it together through the Outlaw Series. I feel like that's a really good next race to go to. So
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, so the big news I've seen, at least today, is twofold. One, the SoCal Sand Drag Association canceling the September race in Lake Elsinore. Kind of a bummer. Was really looking forward to those guys kind of getting their feet back underneath them and starting to get some Southern California races back going again. Kind of disappointed to see that excuse me, the September race got canceled. And I have heard that there's a new pro truck coming out possibly this weekend. So stay tuned for that. And make sure K-Dub and Johnny keep your eyes open this weekend possibly and see what you see. So,
Yeah.
all right. Wait, guys.
I got some news.
Yes, Dave.
Still got mine. All right. So if you guys remember, right, we were talking about the smaller race that I helped do at Top Trails OHV Park. While I was there, that park is owned by a city. It's owned by the city, and then the manager came up to me, and he started talking to me about Southern Power Sports, World Sand Drag News. You know, he's been paying attention, and he's trying to learn how to make his park better and how to get races there. So we started talking. We talked for a very long time, to the point where me and Wayne Gunner talked today, because it's about an hour and a half from Wayne Gunner's house. So me and Wayne after talking today, we have plans on reaching out and getting with the manager at Top Trails. He is, sorry. I'm in the Carolinas, guys. They got the squatted trucks around here, and that's what just went by if you didn't hear it. But anyways. Yeah, it sounds like a cow farting or something. I don't know. It's horrible. But he is wanting to upgrade his track, and he's wanting to know what it's going to take to get the faster Jeeps, trucks, dragsters, and all that. So we spent some time. So they are going to start working on this track. Looking at about 800 feet plus shutdown. Going to be talking around 60 feet wide lanes, 50 to 60 feet wide. The guy's ready to do it. The only thing that they're a little bit worried about now is the bigger equipment to take care of it. That's going to be something they've got to work on. But to get the track where it is, and it's clay sand mix kind of thing. I mean, it's going to hook. It's going to hook good. So that's going to be another new track to really watch out for in 2026. And Wayne Gunner is going to be a part of that and help me out with that. So keep an eye on that, and that will be Talladega, Alabama.
That's awesome, man. I'm really looking forward to that and seeing that, Dave, and even seeing some 4 wide to see how they pull that off. Very interesting to see how that goes. So
yeah, and I was with Casey this weekend, as a matter of fact, with Top Shelf Performance, who is putting together the 4 wide down there, and he said it's going very well right now. He's already talked to his timing system guys, and he's ready to go. Like, they have already got a hell of a start on it. He's ready. He said they're going to start putting timing system in here very directly. They're hoping to have a first race in November.
Fantastic. All right. Well, I think that is going to wrap up the podcast. Any last words, gents? Johnny's chewing, so he's out. Dave just got done. So the 3 of you got anything else before we get out of here?
Thanks for joining us, Mike. Appreciate it. That's awful.
Yeah,
cool.
no doubt.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys inviting me. I know Billy's tried a couple times and the schedules have never worked out. So,
Well, and now
it's
you're
always good
here
to
and
have a guy.
Billy's not, so I'm okay with that, I think.
It's a good
I gotta
trade.
say a big thank you to everyone that helped us out this weekend with ours. We worked our asses off. Everyone that's given us advice over the years with this stuff. It's just meant a lot to us.
Awesome. We'll go with that, and yeah, very much so. So, all right, that is going to wrap it up, folks. The Paddle Talk podcast getting wrapped up here. Just remember, we are brought to you by our friends at Silverback Off-Road Speedway, as well as Silverback Off-Road Rentals. Open April through October. If you want to see the dunes from a whole new view, check out Silverback Off-Road Rentals. Whether it's a day cruise or a sunset trip, the only place for you to go is Silverback Off-Road Rentals, located right in the heart of the Silver Lake community. Check them out there, or check them out on Facebook, or even check them out at their website, Silverback Off-Road Rentals, along with our friends at 3-1 Gold Life. Doug Vinlett and his crew doing awesome things, where they're trucking, racing, just doing everyday life. 3-1 Gold Life is the YouTube channel. Check them out today. All kinds of stuff. Doug and Esther and everything that they do. That's 3-1 Gold Life. The number 3, 1 ONE, and then Gold Life. is what you're looking for, as well as Scott and Shane and the crew at Racing in the Dirt. We appreciate your sponsorship. Please patronize our sponsors. We'll see you next week, folks.
Hey, let's talk about Billy. So when he sees this, he
Let's
won't
do
edit it.
What's this shit about him always being on time?
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
He's so full of shit. And you know what? Now that Mike's with us, I think Mike is he'll be a good example to be like, Billy, you were wrong, bub.